Good. How are you?
Good.
Coach, I'm going to have you introduce
Good.
yourself, make some comments, we'll do some questions.
All right. I'm Coach McDonald. I'm the running back coach here at USC, and happy to be here at the end of the day. Very special place, and looking forward to talking to you guys. Be nice, okay? But where can we start?
Who wants to start? All right, Adam.
Kyle, Adam Grossbard from Coach County Register. You know, it's jumping from Utah to USC. What was kind of that thought process going across the division?
It wasn't really a divisional thing or anything like that. Just an opportunity to grow. I'm a West Coast guy, you know, so just wanting to get better and develop at the end of the day. And we've all grown up watching USC and who they are and what they've accomplished, the heights they've gone to, and I just want to be kind of a part of a staff that hopefully brings that back.
Antonio?
Antonio Rouse, you obviously coach a lot of good running backs at Utah. What are the trades? What's necessary, to play running back for you? What do you look for?
Tough. Gotta be tough. Gotta be physical. Mentally and physically tough at the end of the day. Gotta be able to make some plays when things break down. It's not just about the plays that you're coached to do. It's all the ones. It's really about the ones that aren't perfect. You know, can you make that play? You know, you have to be the biggest eraser on the field. You know, so you got to be able to make those plays when things don't go right, and you got to be consistent. Just got to be a guy that wants to try to be the best, not only the best out west, but the best in the country. You know, and I've gotten a couple of guys that have kind of been in that arena, and I really want to coach some of those guys that will be at the pinnacle of the running back position in the country.
Coach, super quick, USC Radio broadcast. Thanks to the transfer portal, it's kind of have a running back stable now that is loaded with all different types of skill sets and bodies. And we haven't had much of a running game in the past few years. How do you plan on using guys like Ty from Oregon? I know we got a big time guy from Stanford. I'm forgetting his name, but just
Austin Jones.
Austin Jones, having these two guys come over for approval in the pack 1,000-yard career rusher, having that skill set in the backfield, what does that allow you to do on the offensive side?
Best players play, no matter how old they are or what they've done at the end of the day. My job is to pull the best out of those players, to continue to develop. You got a guy like Travis Dye that had a great year last year. You know what I mean? So where do we go from there? And what is it going to take for him to be better than he was last year? You know, so just getting a chance to do the work, be able to be prepared, and be able to make those plays. The game, as you know, you've played. The games are won and lost in the preparation. You know, so really want to make sure that these guys learn how to prepare like pros, do things the right way, and develop great habits. You know, that's what's going to bring the success in the room. It's going to be the habits that are developed that people aren't seeing. You know, everybody gets a chance to see what happens on Saturday or Friday night, but the games and the gains are going to be made prior to that. So we got to continue to work and make sure that we're prepared and ready to go.
Brian?
Brian Abraham, USCFootball.com. Just wanted to see what's been like learning the Lincoln Riley offense and how different is it from where you've been in the past for running backs?
There's a lot of pace for sure. But again, the schemes are the schemes at the end of the day. Everything has structure, everything has a teaching progression. So again, I'm really looking forward to the run schemes that Coach has. He's had a 1,000-yard rusher every year. I know everybody looks at the air show and the great quarterbacks, the great receivers that Coach Simmons has developed over there at Oklahoma, but quiet as kept. They've had a 1,000-yard rusher almost every year, you know. So I just want to be able to be a piece of that and hopefully do it better.
Sean?
Coach Sean Cody, radio broadcast team. Coach, what's your mentality when it comes to rotation of the running backs? Are you one that likes to feed that hot hand when he's going? Or are you thinking about situational for certain guys? What's your mentality?
It just depends. I've done it all. You know, in 2018, I had Zach Moss, and Zach was the guy. Zach was going to get almost 30 touches. You know what I mean? But then you fast forward to last season. You know, I had a 1,000-yard rusher. We had a 1,000-yard rusher. There was also a guy that had almost 700 yards rushing and had 100 receiving. And then you had another guy that had about 400 or 500 rushing and almost 200 receiving. You know, so depending on what the makeup of this room looks like, you know, is how it's going to be used. If there's a dude, then there's a guy. If there's two guys, there's two guys. Whatever it takes to win the game at the end of the day. As well as you know, situational football is football, you know, and being successful in those situations are everything, you know. So getting a chance to see what these guys can do at the end of the day and what roles they do fill, we'll see what our room is made of.
Kyle, Ryan Young, TrojanSports.com. I think a lot of us were surprised when Travis Dye hit the portal. Can you take us back to how that news spread around the office, what your reaction was, and how quickly you guys reached out to him?
Well, as soon as he hit the portal, we were calling, for sure. You know, a player like Travis, Travis is a unique player because he can catch it, he can run it, he can run for power. At his size, he's a tough cookie, you know, and he's very slippery. So once he did hit the portal, it was a deal where we really wanted to get him here. Thought he could fit a little different size-wise in terms of what Coach Riley has had before, but when you talk about the mindset of the player, it's very similar to what he's had. So it was definitely wanting to get him here as quickly as possible so he can see his place and make a sound decision.
And how'd you find out? Who let you know that he was in?
Say that one more time.
How'd you find out that he was in the portal?
Because he hit the portal.
Did someone tell you? You saw it yourself?
I saw it myself.
Gerard?
Gerard Martinez, USCFootball.com, 24/7 Sports. Coach, congratulations on the new gig out here in Southern California. You recruit Southern California a lot when we were in Utah. You get a guy, Willie Brown, who's modern day, played a lot of running back, but I hear Dennis Simmons wants to use him a lot in the slot. What's your vision for Willie Brown?
My vision is Coach Riley's vision at the end of the day. So if he appears in the backfield, great. If he appears in the slot, great. But with a player like that, the ball just needs to find him in different ways, shapes, or forms. And I know Coach Riley's going to use him very creatively in this offense. So it's not like we're pulling and tugging. It's whatever Coach would like to do with really. No pounding the table. Everybody, I think even people on defense would pound the table for him. He's a very talented young man, tough, explosive, and looking forward to seeing what he does in this offense.
Coach, Eric McKinney with WeAreSC.com. You coached some big time backs at Utah, but you've also found them, maybe not the 5-star guys. What goes into your process of looking for and kind of scouting those backs?
The evaluation process is a group process. You know, offensive coaches, defensive coaches, you know, would the defense want to play against a guy like this, you know, but when you're talking about the evaluation, you're going to start with his body type, you know, his mindset, competitive spirit. Obviously, the agility and the playmaking ability are going to go ahead and be at the forefront as well. But it's just a long, drawn-out process of current evaluation over and over. Each game, you want to continue to evaluate the player to make sure that this player is picking the right place and he's right for us and we are right for him.
Ryan?
Player that came from the transfer portal last year was Darren Barlow from TCU. What have you thought of him? Seems like a really interesting player.
Darren Barlow can play. So I'm really looking forward to working with him. He has the size, he's twitched up, he has speed, he's a tough kid. So I recruited him while I was at Utah. Didn't get him obviously, but I'm really looking forward to working with him. I think he has a skill set of some of the guys that I've had before, and looking forward to seeing what that looks like in Coach Riley's offense.
Both Darwin and Brandon Campbell kind of waited their turn last year. We're probably thinking that this was maybe their year. What kind of conversations do you have to have with them when you bring in two experienced backs like Travis and Austin?
Compete. This is going to be a very competitive room. It's going to be one of the most competitive rooms in the country. It's only going to get better. We're going after some of the top prospects in the country. So when you're talking about the USC backfield, you're going to talk about competing and showing up every day, and that's just what it's going to be. You know, you make your moment I don't. You do. So I plan on rolling the ball out. The best player will play. So if it's them, great. If it's one of those guys, awesome. If it's an older guy, okay. But whoever will run out of that tunnel first will have won the job, bar none, fairly.
Do one more, Dan?
Hey Kyle, Dan Greenspan with the Associated Press. There's a big game in town next Sunday. What do you remember about Cooper Cup from your time at Eastern?
A punt returner, yeah. Very, very special human being. You're talking about one of the best men that I've ever met, and even at that age. You know, he was so mature, did things the right way, the work ethic. You know, everybody saw how he answered that offensive question with such a level of intelligence. Coop's been doing that since he arrived on campus at Eastern Washington, so that wasn't a shocker to me. I know the world was like, what did he just say? But he's a great person, very intellectual, student of the game, and I'm looking forward to seeing him play in the Super Bowl.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you, Coach.
Kyle.